Hi everyone, welcome to the pond. It's Swag Frog here, coming today with another video. Today I will be talking about some of my top picks for early game relics. These are characters that are fairly accessible and should be ready to use with minimal effort, so also not super steep gear requirements. That is something that I am factoring in as well. And then without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump right into it. First up on my list, I have the good old tried and true Darth Vader. Even though he has been slipping from his stranglehold on the early game meta, he still is a super solid relic to have. Combined with his merciless massacre Zeta, he can take down Geonosian teams, which can pop up very frequently, especially with the appearance of the Lightspeed bundles. He's super good at solo battles, he's really good on banners, and he can work with Emperor Palpatine as well early game, though you will eventually want to move Emperor Palpatine to more of a Starkiller team, and his late game viability can slip a little bit. His ship is still really good in a good old Chimera fleet, so any effort that you do put into Darth Vader is not wasted effort, not to mention he is a requirement for Executor, Sith Eternal, and Jedi Knight Luke, so he's not a bad relic to get. Just generally speaking, he's very versatile, though his shards can be a little bit difficult to get. That's the only really tough part about him. And then just to state, these are in no particular order, so this isn't from best to worst or worst to best, anything like that. These are just a couple of characters that I just wanted to talk about for good options for first relics. Next up on my list, I've got Savage Opress, which likely won't come as a surprise to many viewers, as he is absolutely fantastic with his Omicron for Grand Arena. He is a solo monster and can fit in with even Darth Treya teams to take down many difficult foes. He's a tank that frequently taunts, he scales his stats throughout the match, and at the start of the match he does gain additional defense, max health, offense, and speed. He's really durable, and it's hard to get, it's not beneficial even to get debuff stacking on him, as that's just going to help him out. He is going to constantly be getting turn meters, so he doesn't even need to be that fast, which is another great reason to farm him early. His gear is really early, and his shards are fantastically accessible right through the Squad Arena store right here. He's also very easy to mod. He doesn't require a lot of very crazy mods, though you do probably want to get them 6-dot with a little bit of speed. You don't even need to go too crazy on the speed. He just really likes health. You just need to jam a lot of health on there. Once again, he is artificially gaining turn meter by himself, so he doesn't need to be super fast. He's going to gain a lot of turn meter on his own. He also does dispel debuffs on himself, I believe. So it's either him dispelling them or it's under the Treya lead, but either way, he is very durable and very resilient and just a fantastic relic to get early game. Though you do need the Zeta and the Omicron, which are kind of the only drawbacks there. Next up is Wampa, one of my favorites, who I should honestly probably get up to Relic 5 so that I have that Sith Eternal counter a little bit more down. Anyways, Wampa is still absolutely fantastic, and though drops in viability a little bit later in the game, there's still just a lot of teams that you can solo with Wampa. The Omicron is really what makes her hum, as it gives extra tenacity and will be constantly scaling offense, resetting cooldowns, just all sorts of fun stuff, damage over time. It makes Wampa incredibly durable as well as very hard to debuff, and Wampa will frequently be getting protection up from Icebreaker, meaning that she is very difficult to kill, also does generically just have a lot of health steal, absolutely fantastic early, mid, and can even do stuff in the later game unit. Another very good use of Wampa is absolutely fantastic for soloing Sith Eternal Emperor. So if you do happen to find a Sith Eternal Emperor on defense, Wampa is pretty much the go-to counter for him. Wampa's shards are more accessible with ever thanks to the new raid currency update. It just makes it super easy to get Wampa up to 7 stars as fast as possible, unlike it used to with the Get 1, which was a pretty slow farm. Wampa, once again, doesn't really need too insane of speed, as Wampa will be getting plenty of turn meter on her own, as well as you do just want a lot of health. You can put some tenacity on there too to boost it, but I do really like health. Not a super difficult to mod character, the gear isn't too bad, and the shards are more accessible than ever. Not to mention Wampa is a requirement for Jedi Knight Luke, who is a requirement for 3 different galactic legends, so an all-around fantastic relic to have around, certainly not a wasted relic. Next up on my list is good old Bossk. Bossk is absolutely fantastic as a good bounty hunter tank. He has plenty of viability throughout the game. He's very hard to kill, and his lead will take you pretty far into the game with bounty hunters. His lead is really good for getting the Chewie event, just all sorts of different things. Not to mention Bossk is required for Executor, so once again, not a wasted relic at all. Bossk is also got probably one of, if not the best non-galactic legends ship in the game with the Hound's Tooth. So the higher relic you have Bossk, the more crew power you're getting from him, and the better your Hound's Tooth will be. The Hound's Tooth is just absolutely fantastic. It gains protection up every single time it's damaged from an attack, and it also can get turn meter when it's not taunting, and then if an enemy is breached, it will basically just perma-hold taunt unless it has buff immunity. So the Hound's Tooth is just an insane bounty hunter tank. And once again, it's required for the Executor, but it doesn't even... It's one of the best requirements. So getting Bossk up to relics is absolutely a fantastic play. Once again, Bossk will also give you a very good early game team, as he can taunt and he can hold the taunt with Trandoshan Rage, which getting the Zeta also improves their crew power, so it's not a bad Zeta to have at all. Him holding the taunt is going to mean that some of your lower gear bounty hunters can survive for a lot longer, making the whole team just a lot more viable. Bossk's shards are a little bit more difficult to get, but they are somewhat accessible and they're double drop farmable, so even though he does come a little bit later, he's still a fantastic relic to get. And then good old Captain Rex, Dad Bod Rex, who's aged like fine wine, as I love saying. Captain Rex is absolutely fantastic, with his Lost Commander unique, the Zeta, the Omicron, and suppressing fire, just pumping turn meter to the Phoenix team. Even if the Phoenix isn't super high gear, even at gear 12, Captain Rex still pretty much carries that team. He is an absolutely fantastic unit that took one of the worst teams in the game and put them as one of the best as of current. The Phoenix Squadron are absolutely insane thanks to Captain Rex, and taking him up to relics is not a bad idea at all. Normally I would recommend holding him at relic 3 or relic 5, but you will eventually need him at relic 7 for Leia Organa anyways, so regardless of how far you take him, you will be using him no matter what. You don't even need his Zeta per se. It is absolutely a great Zeta and highly recommend, but you don't even need it for him to be a great character, because really one of the all-stars here is the suppressing fire combined with the 6th level. Whenever any other Phoenix ally uses a special ability, he will assist, and since Phoenix share their unique abilities, every Phoenix will assist when one of them uses a special ability. It does a lot of damage, and he, with his Zeta, will keep them alive for very long. He will keep getting turn meter upon debuffs, and allies recover health and protection. It makes the entire team incredibly durable, and it makes them hit quite hard. And then suppressing fire will also just come out and pump a huge amount of turn meter to the whole team, and it will also inflict daze and tenacity down, making it easier for you to land debuffs and also harder for enemies to attack out of turn. He is also a generically decently fast character, so it isn't terribly hard to get him up to pretty good speeds. His shards are not the worst to farm. They do come on the 3F, which is a 12 energy node. He is only single drop farmable right now, but in the near future he will likely go up to double drop farmable. So I would say getting Captain Rex is a huge thing for a roster. And then quick, before we head out, I will be unlocking, and on live tomorrow, I will be unlocking Queen Amidala. So if you're interested in checking that out, go ahead and check around 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I will be going live, and we will unlock Queen Amidala at about 2 p.m. Eastern when Conquest comes to a close. I will also be getting Red Crate and Conquest then, just as it was requested, so I'll go ahead and show you guys. I've stopped right before Red Crate, just so I could do it with y'all. 15 hours of Conquest left as of current, but as you can see, I'm at 625 out of 630, and I do have 1 feat where I just need 1 battle, so I will get those 5 tomorrow on stream. If you want to check out how Queen Amidala performs, be sure to tune in for that. And thank you all for watching. Be sure to see you in the next one.